Please enjoy this feature presentation of the Crooked River Radio Network. This program is rated for all audiences.
Four guys. On sports. Four guys. On sports. Four guys on sports starts now.
Yeah, doesn't it?
There's a plastic coming to.
Are we here?
Yes, sir. We're here.
Yeah, we are. Are we? Are you sure we are?
We're somewhere.
I'm not just a figment of your imagineering.
You might be some type of figment, but my imagination.
I always like figment Newtons. Oh, I mean fig Newtons. Good morning, guys. What's going on? What's going on?
How much?
Well, in sports, not a whole lot. Now the Final Four is over, and I know that was long past. That was a really good Final Four. The tournaments was kind of lackluster at first, but the four teams that won the Final Four, they deserve to be there. And I'll say this. I think we had a conversation with some guys, and I think we're gone are the days of the Cinderella teams, the Cinderella stories on the Final Four. You know, that team that you just surprises everyone, because now with the transfer portal and these kids getting money, they're gonna come together and play together.
Yeah, that I was surprised that I watched. Of course, it destroyed Thursday night television, so that was the one thing I will give it. But I've watched little bits and pieces as far as how the teams advanced through, and I thought it was pretty good. But I'm trying to get something set up here, so give me a second. For some reason, I'm not showing them broadcasting.
Yeah.
Come on. There you are. And it looks like we're streaming everywhere, so we're good to go. Finally. Welcome, everybody. Good morning, and or afternoon, or evening. Whatever it may be in your particular part of town. Really, there's been some pretty decent sports news this last week. Of course, some of it's no surprise to a lot of people. But let's go to my favorite team, the Browns. I know everybody wants to hear this.
Oh yeah,
but the flack is back, buddy.
Really?
They're bringing the flack back.
Man.
And he won't. And he doesn't go quack, quack.
Man. So, with that, would you say that they are really interested in making playoffs or anything?
Oh, as much as, I don't know how much good it's going to do. But they're bringing him back. Shawn Watson's pissed. They've showed him on a couple of different news clips and that, and he's vowing that he's going to come back stronger than ever. And I'll believe that when I see it.
Right.
But he's going to come back, and they're going to take, and they're going to be great, and He's what they call a has-been, nothing but a has-been, or he used to was a. And I don't see him, no matter what his pipe dreams are, I don't really see him. I don't know that he'll take another snap under center of the he won't take another snap for the Browns. I really don't think he's going to. I think they pretty much moved on from him. You've got Flacco in here now that should restore a little bit of decency. How good it's going to do? Flacco's got another year older and deeper in debt. It's as the saying goes. I don't know that how much good that's going to do. I also don't know what they're going to do with that second pick. I've read some of the projections. Some of them say they're going to take that Shawn kid. I don't remember what his last name was, but he's the two or three of the things said that they're going to take and pick him.
Three names that pop up for the Browns.
There was another one that they said they could take at 20.
Shadir Sanders at quarterback, Travis Hunter.
Hunter, I think, is the one they're talking about. But they could take. They think he'll last till 20.
Carter.
What was the last one?
Abdul Carter.
That second one's the one that I heard they were going to take. They might take, but they might take him at 23.
No, they're not. You're probably thinking Shadir.
Okay.
Travis Hunter won't last.
Travis is not going to last.
I don't think very many of them will last until 23.
Yeah, had that kid gone to a different program, he would have been the consensus number one player in the country, And he went to the other school.
He plays both sides.
Yeah, he plays both sides of the ball, and they still have yet to determine where is he going to be best at? Is a receiver or a cornerback?
Yeah, that kind of leads you down to the wire where you think, what are they? What I would like to see, and I doubt that it'll happen, but I think the ideal situation for them would be to give up the number 2 for trade down about 3 or 4 spots. To about 6 or 7, and take whatever's there, whatever the field will give them. Because right now, they can do all they want to, but unless they restructure that whole damn team, your quarterback's going to get maimed. And I don't really see how they could. Without the supporting cast, I don't know how you could expect anybody to go in there like that. And that's why you've got Flacco, and you'll have our good old buddy Shawn, who swears he's going to make it. I'll believe that when I see it. But anyway, I just. What do you think? What do you think they're going to do with the second round or that second pick?
My ideal solution would be going after Abdul Carter, but if you want to go with what they need is a lot of. They need to improve that offense quite a bit, and Travis Hunter would be the pick for me because you could put him next to Jerry Judy, and that'd be a good combo.
Well, that'd be a good. Yeah, the whole thing of it is you're going to have to move away from Chubb because I don't think there's some gas left in the tank, but I don't know how much.
I think in the second or third round, a lot of mock drafts have been going after a running back in those mock drafts.
Yeah, what do they know? And
okay.
The other thing too, just lost my whole train of thought. By the way, I wonder where Nate's at.
No.
Anybody heard anything from him?
And I thought you just sent a text.
Yeah. It's a shame we can't get him in here to harangue him some more. I kind of wonder sometimes if he doesn't come in here on purpose.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know where his head is now. He's doing a little better, but he's a troubled man.
Yeah, I know. It's a shame.
Yeah.
We won't go into politics.
No, sir. Absolutely not.
And he sent a text early.
Yeah, the really isn't a whole lot that I can think of as far as more with the Browns. I think the biggest news with them was Deshaun Watson. Oh, did you? What really got me is Haslam finally admitting they swung and missed. Can you imagine that? I mean, could you see Jerry down there in Dallas doing that?
No,
Nah, never.
not even close.
Biggest swing we ever made and we missed. And
Wouldn't happen.
yeah,
He wouldn't admit it.
yeah.
No.
I don't know. I would rather have a little bit of honesty. At least they know you've screwed up. But I was kind of surprised when that news hit the outlets and that it, as to what he said about them. And I think you probably got one more year of Andrew Berry, and there's going to be some changes made there, especially if they don't do too well.
Yeah.
I don't know. Who do you think the powerhouses are going to be this year?
Typical would be Kansas City.
I don't know. Kansas City's been there for what, 4 or 5 years now. The newness is starting to wear off.
Yeah, I agree from a point of what they didn't do is offensively, they weren't impressive. They were not impressive offensively this year. Typical KC type team. So I think we'll see what happens with Philly now. They got another one.
I do a lot of reading as far as different sports things. I follow a bunch of sports channels on the web. There's a couple for the Browns that I have a tendency to really get a kick out of, just because of the people that are in those rooms. Just they love to. If you state something they don't like, they come after you. And the Kelsey brothers decided they were going to talk about the Browns on their show, on their podcast. Not plugging them or anything by any means, but I guess when they did, some of the comments that I read in these rooms or in these threads were unreal. You don't play for our team. You never have played for our team. Mind your own damn business. Yeah. You never were a Browns fan. Go play for Kansas City where you belong. Quite a laundry list there. They were pretty good.
Yeah. Wow. Well, I guess actually I like that. I like that fact that they, put in, they stir the pot. I like that. As it should be, because hey, let's face it, Browns are. How can I say? I would say they're Well, they're not easy to talk about, but again, they are easy to talk about. If you want to talk about negatives, what you shouldn't do. They have been the model for what not to do. Kind of like Dallas Cowboys model for not to do.
the thing too, they're going to have to do once they do ever, if they ever hit the big time. I would just love to see them get to a Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't really. I'd want them to win, of course, but that really may or may not happen. But just the novelty of it, of them getting that far in a big game.
Mm-hmm.
I could really see that happening.
Talking about championships, did you see that they approved the length of the new championships now, going back as far as 1946?
No.
Yeah, now Cleveland now is officially the third longest.
Oh, that's right. I did see something about that. You're talking about the
championship reigns.
the AAFL, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's All-American Football League.
Yeah, they go back as far as 1946 now.
Yeah.
Instead of the Super Bowl.
And you know what?
Yeah. How many people were around?
You know what I got out of that?
What?
Good morning, good afternoon, and good night, Pittsburgh! Pittsburgh sucks! Pittsburgh sucks! Pittsburgh sucks! Pittsburgh sucks!
Didn't see that coming. Didn't see that coming.
That's what I got out of that.
If
We
you wanna
have,
do
what,
that, yeah,
two or
okay.
three more than the flippin' Steelers do as far as championships.
Mm-hmm.
I had to do that.
Yeah.
But that,
Yeah, I found that interesting. It was,
That along with how long was their streak of not being in the Super Bowl?
well, we can hope Pittsburgh starts that streak too.
Dallas has been what, 30?
30 something.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to wonder what these teams, why a lot of these teams don't make. I mean, the Browns, it's obvious. They're the most mismanaged team that ever existed. You just cannot catch a break with them ever since Modell took over.
Yeah.
And that, you just got to wonder what's wrong with some of these other teams that have never made it there, or that it has been 25 or 30 years since they got there.
Yeah. Oh, gosh. Yes.
Yeah. The one thing I've been following this stadium thing up here,
Uh-huh.
and I think Haslam wants to move them. He wants to move them to Brook Park.
Yeah.
And what they're seeing is that even the states come back and said, if you want to move that team, we don't care if you move the team. We'll give you some of the money, but you got to promise us wins first.
Well, that right there, I don't think they can do that.
Well,
so don't look like they'll be moving. If it's that fifth, it's on the contingency they promised me.
I thought that it was approved.
Well, they've approved some of the money. The state come in over the last week and said that they'll take back. I think it's 60% of it. Haslam's got to come up with like 35, and then the county's got to come up with some. But the whole thing comes down to, and I think it's only fair. If you got a winning team, you got a better chance of you know, you want them to have nice stuff. But if they suck every year, like a certain team has, you know, you just, to me, getting to the playoffs is nothing anymore.
No. Well, how deep do you get to in the playoffs? You know, that's the other part. Well, and it depends on the team, depends on the franchise. If you hadn't been to the playoff or you hadn't won a playoff game in 15, 20 years, then yeah, it's a bigger deal.
And if you've never won it all together, or it's been 1964 since you did, that tends to. But I got kind of mixed emotions about it. I could see them wanting a new stadium, just for the simple fact that I think it would be good for Cleveland because you could have, instead of having 8 or 10 outdoor events, you could probably boost that to 18 or 20.
Okay.
On the amount of money that they would make off of a stadium like that would be pretty unreal. But on the other side of that coin, I don't know. Yeah, the other thing too is if you were on the same side of the coin, you could actually host a couple of Super Bowls, and it would be pretty cool to see one hosted from Cleveland. But there again, on the other side of that coin, you know, you're taking away some of the weather abuse that these teams get during the cold part of the seasons and that. And I don't know. I don't know. I just, I would think that you'd probably want some of that left. What I would like to see would be a retractable dome, but I don't think you're going to see that, at least as far as the stuff that I've seen created on drawings and that. I don't see them doing that. But then again, you know, it's 6. I guess it's 6 one way, half dozen the other. I want to see him just come in and kick ass once. Just give me kick ass to win every, even if they ended up like, I don't know, 3 and 14 or 4. No, heaven forbid 3 and 14. No. I didn't say that. 14 and 3 or something like that. I'd take that. Wouldn't you, Gordon?
Yeah, I'd take it.
I'd even make up for your Cowboys.
Yeah.
Anyway, we got. What do you guys think of the Cleveland Cavaliers?
Man, they're doing the thing.
Tying down the East.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. You know,
And number 1 seed through the playoffs.
Yep.
I really want to see them hold their own. I would love for them to, you know, where Boston scares me. You know, I've watched, what's that guy up in Cleveland really good grow, Mobley. But Boston is a team that's a good team.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had a game last night. They weren't playing 4 of their normal players, and they started out a little slow, but they still won by 6 points.
Yeah. They got the Knicks number anyways this year. Everybody, the top three teams in the NBA. If the Knicks go against them,
they were saying that the Knicks hadn't beat anybody in the top 3 out of 18 games this year.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
You just can't do that. And meanwhile, out in Los Angeles,
Yeah,
Yeah.
man. Yes, sir.
Right now, they're in the number 3 seed there.
Number 3 seed. I still think that they are big enough is what's going to hurt them. I watched them against Mavs whenever Luka came back to Dallas, and
Luka did go off on them.
and he did. But and then also I heard some things. They said that was such an emotional deal there. It was time for the fans to let that go, because if you're Anthony Davis and you're sitting there, you're looking at this like, many people don't care about me, Will he sign again,
Yeah, that the thing that's changed over the last 20 or so years is the loyalty these guys have had to their teams. They don't really give a crap where they play. They all hope for, we need to get a good team. We got to have a good team. I want to play for a winner. So does everybody else in the league. But as far as nailing it down, that's another story. And actually having, they all seem to do the same rhetoric. Oh yeah, what? My teammates and I, and my teammates and me and my teammates, and you can just tell the loyalty's not there in their voice.
Yeah.
You got a couple of people that are on the Browns. Yeah, Nick Chubb for one. I don't want to see him leave. I think he should play it all the way out. Myles Garrett's another one. But if it come down to it, if they didn't offer him the amount of money that they offered him, Garrett would have been gone. I don't know. The loyalty just doesn't seem like it's there, and it's not as much fun as it used to be.
No, and for these players, it is a business. There's the, fans are so quick to turn on you, and then the other side of that is that ownership can do some things that just not cool and portray you to be the villain. I go back to the Luka trade, and they said that he was overweight, he was this, he was that. No, and he wasn't. But at the same time, most of the time, the team, they get a pass. But you as that player, that all-star player, a lot of times you don't. Because they tried to smear Luka, but it come out and it's not that. And we'll never know. I don't think we'll ever know what actually went down to
I think what gets me the most about that, the way that they build these teams around one player. I've said this in the past, and I'll say it again. There's no I in team. And you taken, just like the Cavs did around LeBron. They built the team around him, and when he gets hurt, where are you at?
Yeah.
And you get the same thing in football. You got the same thing. You don't really have it so much in baseball. But even some of that revolves around the pitching.
Oh, yeah. Well, and the thing of it is that, you can't, or it's too hard to get this. To put 5 all-stars out there on the floor in basketball, or, in football, you got 11 all-stars out there, Now, because what happens is this. The top guys want the top money. I get it, and first and foremost is that. Then, so if you can put together a couple players and build around them. I mean, that's what you do. If you look at any team, there's not a team out there as far as football or basketball that you can just say, hey, they have the best, this top to bottom.
Well, you've, in a sense, you've actually done that with the Cavs. Because you've got about 4 players there that, if the 4 of them play, they're going to kick ass.
Yeah.
And I'd rather see it that way myself than I would some superstar like LeBron coming here and taking the show over.
Well, I mean, again, you're going to get that. You're going to get the 2 players on a basketball team, for instance. There's usually in, comparison to the rest of the NBA salaries, there's 2 or 3 guys on the team that make the money. The other guys are getting scraps.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's just the way it's designed.
Yeah. Needs to change. Let's make it fair for everyone. Whatever. Forget I even said that one. But how's things in the baseball world down there?
Rangers are doing
Pretty good.
Pretty good. They're doing okay. It's early. We've seen the Rangers do that a lot. Start off hot and cool down. We'll see what happens. Hopefully we won't get bit by the injury bug this year like we did last year. It's something to see, for them to win it all the other year. And if the bats can stay pretty consistent,
Yeah,
good.
the Indians finally started hitting a little bit up here once they got home.
Yeah.
They had a pretty, almost a terrible start. And that when they got back home, and the hitting, it improved pretty much the minute they took the field up here. It's still a little cold and it's still a little early.
Yeah.
You're not going to see Indians bats really come out until about the middle of May, once the weather warms up a little bit. I do think that they're starting. I think once they hit their stride, they're going to be pretty decent.
Yeah.
Anyway, what do we got as far as trades, or anything trade wise, or do we want to cover any of the draft for the NFL or whatever? We need to pick some subjects here.
Mm-hmm.
How about you, Shawn? It's your show.
Yeah, I'm looking right now to see if there's anything going on.
I give the guy a show and look at him, Gordon.
Yeah, I'm just looking to see if there's some other topics that we could talk about. There's that kid that plays for Tennessee, the quarterback. He's refusing to play for them right now because of the NIL. And so I think Tennessee's going to let him go for that. The quarterback, his name is INLV.
That NIL thing is,
Yeah.
I can understand it in the college ranks. You go into the younger, even in high school and stuff. I don't know.
Yeah. The thing about it is now they can, let the kid go and bam, he's someplace else.
Yeah, somebody that wants him to play. I did have to admit, I do like the way that portal worked this year. I think that it didn't destroy the bowl games, which is at least not for Ohio State anyway.
Yeah.
They actually did pretty well. But as some of those, when that portal ruined the bowl games for that 2 or 3 years ago, I wasn't for that at all.
Yeah.
I think it was a mistake. Anyway, that
That was one of the topics I was thinking of. It's, and he's asking for so much, and they're not being able to give it to him. So.
Yeah, I think the money thing, that made it tough right there.
money talks and BS walks.
Yeah. Yeah. That's Miles Garrett.
And yeah, that's right. Although there was such a with that Garrett thing, there was such a realm of possibilities there. It's almost, I would almost like to have dealt him just to see what would have turned out. I mean, you had possibilities of 3 or 4 draft picks for him. Couple of 1 draft picks. Might have made it interesting. Could have rebuilt your whole team in 1 year. But it is what it is. I think we've covered the baseball thing.
Yeah, basketball, football. We'll see what happens now. We get the NBA playoffs, start where they do the play-in tournament, and then we'll see what happens next.
Mm-hmm.
When is the NFL draft? That's up for another month yet.
2 weeks.
We should start doing a little bit of a draft show.
It's in 2 weeks. Okay.
Maybe we can do that next week.
Less than 2 weeks, actually.
I'm curious to see how that all turns out.
See how it shakes down and see who has what and what they'll possibly pick.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be good.
Yeah, I think it's on the 24th it starts, so that's in 12 days.
What do you think about the Browns picking up Pickett?
I think that was a good pickup for him.
And it kept him away from Pittsburgh.
Mm-hmm. 'Cause that's where he started, so.
Yeah. I remember when they drafted him. Oh, they had such big expectations for him, and he's going to be great. It was because he was from Pittsburgh. All right, whatever.
Yeah.
The fun is over.
Yeah.
What have they got as far as quarterbacks so far? Do you know right offhand? I don't. That's one thing I don't really follow.
The Steelers?
Yeah.
They don't have much right now. Because Russell Wilson went to the Giants, and then Fields went to the Jets.
Where do you think Kirk Cousins is going to hang?
I think he stays in Atlanta.
You think?
Uh-huh.
I don't know. I don't think Atlanta likes him that well. Was it?
He got a nice little bag going there, so I think they're on the hook for him at least this year. Coming here this season.
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting either way.
Yeah.
Well, I hate to do this, but you guys want to wrap it? You got anything else to talk about? Or?
No, we got some stuff we got to get out of here and do anyway, so we can wrap it at 11. Well, we got 3 minutes, so
Yeah.
And wrap it at 12 up here.
well, yeah.
I got 41 minutes in the can, so that'd be all right, I guess, for this week. Till we get some other stuff happening here.
Yeah. Once things get to rolling around, we have the playoffs and
the
NFL draft, and we'll have some things that that makes for a more interesting show,
Yeah.
a more exciting show.
Yeah.
I guess we've pretty much beat it to death for today, though.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
All right, I guess we can wrap it up. What's the big plans for the weekend there, you guys? Anything?
I got a party to go to today.
Yeah, we got a party to go to. I was telling Sonya they're doing golf this year at the house, but I got to run to. I got to go to motorcycle shop, go to barber shop, go to motorcycle shop, get some stuff, and I'm still going to ride today a little bit, and that's about it.
Yeah, well, I saw that that little machine you bought a couple weeks ago.
Yeah,
That's pretty.
I'm enjoying it, man. I'm enjoying it. I am really enjoying it. The wife, I think she's a little jealous, man, because I'm out there rubbing on it.
And
That's his new baby.
Yeah.
well, I ain't even going there, Gordon. All right, guys, let's go ahead and wrap it up here.
All right.
Next
All
up
right.
tomorrow night is the Radioactive Show. And then that's it for the week. We had the Art of Argument last week. It was pretty decent.
Mm-hmm.
If you like to argue politics, that was a way to go. But anyway, tomorrow night at 7:30 to 10, or 7:30 to 9, 9:30, something like that. We will be around for that. That's Eastern time. And with that, we'll go ahead and wrap it up for this week. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for making a trip over, Gordon.
Yeah. Gotcha.
And we will see you all next week.
All right.
I don't think I got anything on the schedule. So I think we're good till May 3rd. Anyway, 7-3 y'all, and y'all have a good week.
All right.
And I'll close it out here as soon as I find the song. This has been a Crooked River Media production. And we're clear.
Yeah. I got to do.
Man, I need to go get my
Yeah,
haircut.
so he was telling me you guys are
Going down
here.